Welcome to the 4, sponsored by ZDAX. Today we find out which player will be the next to challenge Fairy Peak in the Law Games. The winner will go undefeated and dominate this tournament. The loser will return for another chance to play in the 4. Who do you think will win, eekso or Flakes? Let's get to the series.
Game 1, Flakes versus eekso. Flakes can take this series. He will confirm his victory in the 4. Move on to face Fairy Peak for the second time in the lore games. But eekso's not going to let that happen too easily. And don't be hasty to forget that eekso did beat Flakes the last 2 times that they matched up. Firstly, in the Manfield Night 5k group stage, and then in the Manfield Night 5k gauntlet stage. So this might not be the best matchup for Flakes. Both of those series were close. Flakes taking a couple of games in each. And even that could be enough, depending on other results, to get him in. But eekso is playing very well right now, and that's 2-0 early on. Flakes attempts a couple of fake challenges, but doesn't really get too much out of it, as eekso's recovery was just too good. And that's 2-0 to the Englishman early on in this game. Flakes is going to control eekso. There's seemingly 2 ways to do it. One of those is to be ultra aggressive, and that's actually what he's done here. He's bumped eekso into his own goal, and then followed through with an open net. You know, sometimes we see more passive play from Flakes, and he can frustrate his opponents into oblivion by doing that. I'm just not sure that eekso is the right opponent to be doing that against, giving him a lot of space and a lot of time to set up offensive plays. It's not really helped out too many opponents of his in the past. eekso just loves to be able to drive around the field as fast as possible, recover as fast as possible, keep his opponents at bay. Now that's a bit of a risky shot by eekso, but it looks like he will be fine. Flakes can't quite counter. Good control by Flakes in the aftermath to secure boost and ball control now. Off the wall goes Flakes. Not sure if he's planning a shot. He is in fact going to follow through the shot there, but not too risky. eekso almost concedes possession. Look at the speed of Flakes getting back into defense after that touch didn't go his way. Both of these guys, 2 of the fastest players up and coming in Europe right now. Both able to get a win against Kronobi already. Of course, the winner of this match, it's really the one that everybody's going to be looking at to take down Fairy. This is the one that everybody's looking at the moment. Flakes tries to get it over to eekso, but can't do so. eekso not really making the most of his possession plays, it seems, and that's going to be a missed save for eekso. The tie game for Flakes. eekso really should be able to do more. He's got a lot of time on the ball, and although he didn't have too much boost, surely should be able to do better than he did in that exact exchange. It's a good recovery by eekso. Flying back down to the ground just to make sure that he gets to the ball before Flakes. Flakes trying to keep an eye on where eekso is now. Half flip challenge. Wins the ball. eekso looks like he might have been going a little bit too far out of position, looking for a bump, but he will concede after this recovery. It's nowhere near good enough. It was a bump play attempted by eekso. Flakes seems to be a step ahead. He's managed to turn this game 1 around. 3-2. eekso looks like he's ready to try and equalize. Crossbar will keep Flakes ahead, and Flakes, confident as ever, rolls in another open net. That's just great awareness by Flakes. He knew the ball was likely to hit the crossbar flush. Of course, there's always a chance that it'll bounce a little bit down, so he's not committing too early to that position, just in case he has to double back and head for a save, and that's a good shot after the kickoff. 5-2. Flakes has completely turned this one around after an opening brace from eekso. It's all been the Dutchman. Now 5 uncontested goals, unanswered goals, I should say. Half the game to go. eekso will get the next possession. Don't forget, Flakes is by far the highest rated 1v1 player in the world at the moment in the rank ladder. eekso, oh, he's almost scored a backwards shot. The post will keep Flakes' net safe, and it looks like he's too quick for eekso on the counter yet again. And how many counter-attacks is that for Flakes? It's been a combo, actually. I talked about the strategies that he could employ to win this one. You know, either trying to nullify eekso's attack by pressuring him, forcing him to make plays on the ball too early, or just sit back and hit him on the counter. Well, we've seen kind of a blend of those two things from Flakes so far this game. He is keeping eekso under a lot of pressure. Look at that pre-jump on eekso's aerial. It's actually just gone in for Flakes. It's on the goal line. He'll surely be able to score this with the aerial shot. Yes, he will. That's just brilliance from Flakes. 7 unanswered goals now. This time he just reads eekso's mind. He knew eekso's likely to pop that ball from distance and look for the air dribble, and you never know what eekso's going to do after he starts an air dribble. So I'm going to give him that opportunity. This is obviously not the end of the world though for eekso. He was able to come back from 2 games lost and take down Flakes. Even after like 5k gauntlet. So I'm sure he could replicate that today. Very explosive player, very momentum based player. I'd rather start sooner than later. Flakes looking very good at the moment. He did look very good in his loss against Fairy Peak in the lower games previously. Both himself, even Alpha 54 before everything started going horribly. As Fairy switched to the Batmobile, they all did a pretty good job. Is Flakes the man to get Fairy on the second try? Right crossover there by Flakes. He saw that eekso is shadowing and he'd committed pretty far into the net. That last touch on the ball before the shot really put eekso in a precarious spot. eekso's trying to ball chase, but Flakes sees him coming. Once again, step ahead. He's just popping the ball to keep eekso back for now. So keep pressuring, but this time actually Flakes does overstep the mark, and eekso's got an open net. He plays it safe and slow, and he's got an outside chance of a comeback here. Just over a minute. Side flip for eekso, just enough to get the ball over the top of his opponent. And he needs some strong kickoffs if he's going to come back. Wave dash dribble by eekso. It's just a 50-50. No doubt Flakes is going to be bombing in and trying to put some pressure on eekso. That's what's been doing so much work for him in this game. He's even taking every small pad here just to make sure that there's nothing behind him that eekso can utilize. Great top corner placement by Flakes. It's in off the joint. And he's ahead by 6 yet again. Perfect placement. So not able to make contact on his back wall clear. Now 40 seconds left. Can eekso get any goals just to make this scoreline look a bit better before going into game number 2? Doesn't look likely as Flakes is taking control once again. He's keeping eekso completely at bay for large parts of this game. It's a difficult thing to do. eekso, of course, known to dominate possession and ball control just by virtue of his own mechanical ability and awareness of when to challenge. Flakes has been equal to him in that regard in this game, and defensively he's looked solid as a rock. Very one-sided opening match here. It's Flakes takes down eekso. Is it going to be 10? You bet it is. 10 goals to 3. eekso's going to have to go back to the drawing board for game 2. Solid stuff in game 1 for Flakes. Can he replicate? eekso. Really, really rough one for him to take, and that's not the best start as well. Kickoff goal for Flakes. Just showing why he is the rank 1 player in 1v1 by a mile, I might add. Sort of margin you usually only see Fairy Peak extending his lead by in the 1v1 leaderboard. Flakes is starting to look a lot like the progression that Fairy Peak made in 1v1. Starting off as a defensive monster, and then slowly but surely adding more and more offense to his game. It's all about timing for Flakes, knowing when to challenge, knowing when to fake a challenge, knowing when to shadow, knowing when to back off completely, and all that with some pretty impeccable boost management. It's made this a difficult series for eekso to handle so far. eekso almost had an opening there. But once again, Flakes seems very aware of the potential danger. There's a misplay though, and eekso's going to equalize. Flakes put in a bit of an awkward spot, and he couldn't handle this one. Landing backwards on the wall and then waiting to see what eekso's going to do. Maybe not the best idea. Might have had time to get off the wall and get into a more conventional position. Either way, well played by eekso. Certainly a forced error. It was not a normal play that you'd usually see happening in many 1v1s. Sometimes that's all you need to do in Rocket League, is get your opponent in a position that they're not familiar with. Hit them with a shot they've not seen before. Flakes trying to pre-jump, or continue flying rather, in front of that ball. He's done well to come out here with so much boost, and you can tell eekso is not ready for that boost management from Flakes. He thought Flakes was close to starved and decided to play this one a bit more aggressively than he should. Look at the acceleration Flakes is able to get on the ball using all that 60 plus boost. It's right back in control. eekso needs to try and rein in his aggression a little bit, find the sweet spot. As Flakes is able to counter-attack at will. He's looking very consistent with his open nets today. eekso's not going to get any freebies by the looks of things. And even that could have been a goal for Flakes. eekso was very close to being demolished. And now eekso's got Flakes all the way backed off. Tries to wave dash it over him, and what a shot that is! eekso gets under the ball and pops it top right. You thought surely there's no way he can get this one past Flakes, but by going left, he's popped the ball far enough right to get it over the top of Flakes, who was coming in for the challenge. That's one of the best goals we've seen all tournament. Of course, it would be eekso, wouldn't it? Crazy mechanics. Under pressure as well. So if he misses that one, Flakes is going to have another counter-attack set up. And that has been a very reliable way for Flakes to be scoring. And here comes eekso again. Another wave dash opportunity. This time he just lands and pops the ball. See that it's not quite as difficult for Flakes to save if there's no wave dash involved. But these guys are mind gaming their Flakes pretty hard at the moment. So almost squeezes by a long shot. I love that vision that Flakes is showing us. He's making it very hard for eekso to sneak up behind him and squeeze in those demos with vision like this. It's a great recovery by eekso. He has overdone it a little bit and opened up his own net, perhaps to be exploited. Flakes trying to sneak this one into the bottom left corner. eekso was going to be there. I love these touches that Flakes is making. Every time he's leaving the ball, or at least turning his back to the ball, he will pop it just a little bit to make sure that eekso can't come in and take a shot for free. And that's some really good defending by Flakes. Once again, many a player would have jumped at that ball and been taken out of the game by eekso's early touch, but not Flakes. He reads the play well and sits in goal and waits for the right opportunity. Still all tied up in game two. Both players completely evenly matched. Difficult to separate. This has been more the type of game that we expected to see in this matchup, with Flakes having to do a lot of defending. But eekso, as soon as he is put in defense, looks that a little bit more vulnerable. Flakes up 3-2. It was just another bump being avoided that set this one up for Flakes. He hit the brakes, saw eekso fly in front of him, and that was the end of eekso's positioning. Flakes trying to get eekso to back off here so he can make a play. There is the defensive run for eekso. This range flick for Flakes is a little bit risky because eekso is going to be taking control here, but that long shot off target and slow, and goodbye eekso. Flakes able to catch up with him. Just a minute and 21 seconds left. Flakes is looking so good right now, and eekso's just tried a rush challenge from distance, and it's the surprise factor that he's going for here, not because he thinks Flakes can't see him. He's just hoping that Flakes will expect him to turn around with full knowledge that he can't see him. That's not the case. Flakes reads eekso's mind, gets the pop, and there's no doubt Flakes is popping off right now. He's not had the craziest goals, but he hasn't had to. Now eekso's going to counter with a pop of his own. It's Flakes diving in unsuccessfully, and this is surprising given how successful Flakes has been. Okay, it looks like he was trying to set up a reverse challenge. Did not think eekso was going to play the shot quite that early. Flakes trying to get in behind the ball and then put in a challenge out of eekso's view, but that was good timing by eekso. Both the players have just taken turns reading each other's challenges to perfection. Good interception there by Flakes. eekso looking for a side flip shot. Pre-jump Flakes. eekso puts the ball wide with the ceiling shot. That's a really bad recovery. One of eekso's worst from a ceiling shot. But look at that from eekso. He's staying with this one, despite the fact that he's at a huge boost disadvantage. Does not want to give Flakes an easy possession, uncontested. There is a successful rush challenge. Flakes does not respect eekso's ability to score from that angle though, and it looks like that might have been a good play to make because eekso's missed it And, you know, looking at that play happen from Flakes' POV, it did look like eekso would miss most of the time, so you can make a good argument for him just staying on the ground there. Of course, he was already 1 goal up, so if eekso does hit the shot, you'd be really disappointed. It looks like Flakes is going to lock up game 2 as well. The long shot confirms the 3-goal lead, and eekso stands motionless, completely lost for what to do against Flakes. He's playing some of the best Rocket League we've ever seen him play. Like I said before, if he does take this win, he will confirm himself as the victor of the 4.
eekso will want to make some changes to get this series to game 5, never mind win it. You can make a change with ZDAX, who are the sponsor of this tournament. They offer custom-built PCs at good prices. Get 5% off your custom gaming PC with discount code JOHNNYBOY, shipping worldwide. Upgrade now. Let's get into game 3.
Reverse sweep now necessary for eekso. Can he make it happen? This would be a huge revenge match for Flakes if he can keep this up. Like I said in game 1, this is the 3rd time lucky for Flakes against eekso. Wave dash out the ceiling shot, and he just pushes the ball over the line. And that is creativity from Flakes. He's got his dodge, but he saves it to wave dash once he reaches the ground. And look at the acceleration on the ball. Of course, by wave dashing, he still has his dodge to improve his hitbox when he reaches the goal line. eekso doesn't have much boost to work with here. He can't get the side flip shot past Flakes, who's been just so good at calculating eekso's possibilities when he's coming in for shots. Flakes knows that boost in the back corner is not quite spawned yet, so he did just play the ball. Now he's got it in his back pocket. High pop by eekso. Flakes does well to keep it in a difficult to shoot position. And even eekso might not be able to dish this. Oh! Never mind, you bet he can. Look at that. Even though the ball's come so far off the wall, eekso finds a way, turns it around beyond 180 degrees. Flakes is not ready for that one. Difficult to read for sure. What a play by eekso, all tied up now in game 3. And that's stuff like that eekso needs to be doing consistently. Not only for the sake of messing up Flakes, but also just to get his own mentality in the right spot. Of course, eekso has played his best games of Rocket League in the past, right after he's scored some good goals. Here he comes with an air dribble bump. Somehow Flakes gets a save. I actually have no idea how Flakes has managed to save that one. eekso is right in front of the ball. Usually you would try and go underneath the challenge, but Flakes I think just went over the top of it. And he's done well to keep the ball out of the net afterwards. Now maybe looking to turn things around. It's actually eekso continues to attack. Flakes is just going to try and run this ball quickly into eekso's half. Maybe catch eekso off guard. Thought about a goal line 50-50, but that would have been a terrible idea. Really wise decision there by Flakes not to continue with that one. eekso trying to exploit the boost advantage. Flakes shuts the door at the near post, top corner. It's still eekso dominating the possession in game 3. Another bump is attempted. This time he will land it, and eekso had to come all the way back down to the ground for this one. Flakes trying to let eekso fly over him. eekso's pop made this so difficult. The ball is right behind him, so if Flakes does get hit, there's no way that he can recover in time to get the save. And it was a good bump as well. Flakes getting sent miles from the ball. 2-1 lead now for eekso. Will he be able to hold on to it? He couldn't hold on to the 1 lead that he had this series in game 1. But this is going a lot better. Challenge from behind the ball. eekso puts in a 3rd goal. Flakes now, the one who's going to be scratching his head, wondering, how did this go so wrong? Well, you know, dribbling the ball straight at your opponent when you can't see them might be one contributing factor. You know, you've got to give eekso a lot of credit as well. It's not just Flakes who's dropped off in level a little bit in this game. eekso's looking calm, composed, ready to start applying some more pressure, which is getting to Flakes. That's a missed save that you would not expect a player like Flakes to be making. 4-1 eekso. Largest lead that he's had all series. And now eekso starting to look like a completely new player. I wonder if that how much of that was eekso getting his side Flakes head a little bit. Now Flakes doesn't have time to put this in before eekso spawn, but he will try and slow play with a flick. eekso saves it. And eekso will follow up with another goal of his own. Never mind, actually, Flakes getting the boost here should be enough to save this. But actually, eekso almost shooting another goal from the backboard, while he himself is also on the backboard. Very creative, as always, eekso. 2 minutes remaining. Flakes has an open net, and he will just volley this one powerfully and accurately. And he'll make the goal line 2 goal differential. That's a bit risky for eekso. He's gone way too far out of the play here. I mean, that was an open net by a mile. Flakes didn't even have to rush that one in by any means. He still needs 2 more if he wants to complete this sweep, and that would be incredibly impressive. Flakes can pull that one off. He's got a chance with the wall shot. It is a powerful one, low enough, and it bounces into the top corner. eekso once again standing still, thinking about his decisions, and certainly regretting that commitment to the mid boost. He thought he could get there first, but Flakes snatched it from right underneath his nose. Now Flakes is pressuring again. It's a long time left in the game for eekso to hold on to this lead. Flakes is looking deadly. Decides not to go for the boost steal because he has a temporary open net, but that first touch is not going to allow him to take it. However, he sees it. eekso hasn't taken the far corner boost, so he's going to try and keep this pressure up, knowing that eekso's fairly starved. Gets the ball off him. Flakes is not in the best spot here. He's just popped it into the back wall. eekso with an easy turnover. And now he's looking for a goal at the other end. Flakes lets it go by him as well. What is going on in Flakes' defense? I think he's had more blunders this game than he did in the other 2 combined. That's just rolled in straight down the middle for eekso. You know, maybe Flakes expected something more. It wasn't the greatest flick by eekso, and that could have caught Flakes off guard. But even still, you'd expect Flakes to get a save. Now that's a very nice touch by Flakes. I'm not a fan of this challenge from eekso though. Really diving in. He's got a 2-goal lead. Does he really need to be diving in to challenges like this? I do not think so. He's got so much space between the ball and his goal to weave in fake challenges and maybe even wait for a cleaner spot where Flakes isn't so much in control of the ball. As is, eekso still in the lead by 1. Might be about to make it 2 with a long shot. Indeed he will. This time it's Flakes punished for an overextension. He's challenged the boost advantage of eekso, and he will suffer the consequences. 6-4 in favour of the Englishman now. 50-ish seconds on the clock. Flakes to try and make something happen, and he's not done well here either. eekso with another freebie. That's, I make it 3 goals that Flakes has just donated to eekso, and this one even more so than the others. 3-goal difference, going to be very hard to come back from. You've got to think if eekso can get his hands on the ball for any of the next few kickoffs, that's surely going to be the end of the series, or the end of the game, sorry. Flakes, I think, has just missed this open net. A really poor game 3 by his standards. Tries to salvage the play with a ceiling shot, but it's in fact eekso who's going to be scoring the next goal. Recovers after coming off the wall, and that's a 4-goal difference. Surely now, game 3 in the bag for eekso. The start, perhaps, of a great comeback. He's still got a lot more work to do, of course, if he wants to take down the Dutchman. Flakes still trying everything within his power to make this a winnable game. But eekso's shut the door at the near post, kept the far post clear from danger, and that will confirm the game 3 win for eekso. We're going into game 4 with a 2-1 score in favour of Flakes. So now the true test for both players, perhaps the most important game of the series. Game 4, Flakes looking to lock this one up before eekso can continue this comeback. And that's a great start for him. 1-0 with a flick after kickoff goes heavily in his favour. eekso tried to get in the way of this one, but it was going to be Very difficult save. The dodge perhaps not the right decision. Obviously, if eekso wants to make this comeback happen, this needs to be a game win for him. Oh, here comes Flakes off the ceiling. He has his flip reset. Oh my goodness, what a save by eekso. Flakes really drilled that one on target. But eekso somehow got in the way of it. He's almost ready to congratulate Flakes on a great goal, but it's eekso who scored at the other end. As the biggest goal explosion goes off once again. Very nice dunk there by eekso. Flakes, not for the first time this series, trying to challenge backwards. eekso might look like he's diving in a bit there with low boost. But, you know, the angle of Flakes' challenge is coming from doesn't give him too many big wins. Oh, that's a pretty big win. But eekso with another crazy save. What a recovery on the inside of the post after Flakes' flick was almost perfectly placed in the top corner. Still more pressure for Flakes. Kind of swats it straight at eekso. It's more ceiling plays for Flakes. He's just going to use his dodge here for a recovery, if anything at all, but decides not to use it. eekso catches a boost on spawn. Flakes has him wrong-footed though. eekso momentarily jumping for that ball. You'll wish he stayed on the ground because it was not on target. Not even close, actually. But eekso does come out with the ball after Flakes has done this offensive play. There wasn't too much harm done. eekso not really put into very awkward positions at all. And now he's got Flakes completely pinned back. Bumps him once, twice, 3 times, and puts in the open net. 2-1 eekso. Flakes just had no control of his car here. He did drive right in front of eekso and was punished for it. Thought it was his time to clear the ball. Forgot to take eekso into the equation. Always have to do that. 2-1. And a strong kickoff for eekso. High pop, but Flakes once again with an early challenge. He's been quick to react to eekso's aerial base plays. Oh, now that's a misread though by Flakes. eekso perfectly times the shot from the edge of the box. Flakes thought it was hitting the bar, just grazed it on the way in. Now with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in game 4, eekso's starting to put together some really good plays. It's going to be difficult for Flakes to keep eekso under control if eekso can play this well. Never any questions about his offense, but his defense has been spectacular. Look at that challenge by eekso. Such a high flick with no boost. Impeccable ball control. Flakes trying to press the issue. He knew that he had a big advantage in the boost department, but eekso unscathed manages to get by him. Even though Flakes was blocking a lot of eekso's potential angles. It's a good kickoff goal for Flakes, so great time to be scoring one of these. Will he be able to build on that, or is eekso just going to get right back in the driver's seat? As he has been for most of this game number 4. You've got to think if eekso does win this, he'll be the massive favourite in game 5, even though the games have been close. Flakes lost his last 2 matchups against eekso. It's got to be weighing in the back of his mind a little bit as eekso claws his way back in here. I'm not sure what eekso's planning there though. I don't know if he meant to hit that ball or if the mind game was intentional, but either way, Flakes did not fall for it. He's closed the gap down to a single goal difference. eekso's fake challenges keeping Flakes away for the time being though. Flakes decides not to play the boost steal game. He has to be careful not to be demolished from behind there. Does turn now safely and avoids the recovery demo that eekso is trying to make. 2 minutes 22 left in the clock. Flakes takes to the air. It's a pretty good shot. It's going to put eekso in a compromised position. Will eekso be able to reposition to continue aggressing Flakes? No, he won't. Flakes with 3 shots on the ball. No reply from eekso. Gets it high with the pop. And that shot being directly above eekso's head made it almost impossible for eekso to score. Needed to be positioned a bit more towards the post. Being in the very middle of the goal didn't help him out at all there. Flakes doesn't want a 50-50 in front of eekso's goal. He knows that's what eekso's really looking for. Player with low boost is usually the one looking for the 50-50. to go volatilely into a corner somewhere so they can go and get a boost. Oh, a second, eekso's just been bumped off a boost in the back corner. He's still chasing this ball, and he's going to get a goal out of it. eekso, boost or not, refuses to relent the pressure. He saved up a good bit here, and although Flakes is 100 to his 40, just keeps on going down the line, and he didn't waste any time in putting that shot on target after it kicked off the wall. Opened up the angle for him. It's great stuff by eekso. You can tell Flakes was just expecting him to stop chasing at some point. He thinks, this guy's coming in behind me, but there's no way he's going to keep doing that. He's got to stop at some point and go get a boost. Nope, not eekso. Saved it up well. That's a great save to the top corner for eekso. Certainly his best defensive game, I would say, in terms of shot stopping. He's still going to hang on for another minute and 23, and Flakes is starting to boom a lot of shots on net. eekso saves yet another one. He's got a lot of boost to counter with. That flick will also go over the top of Flakes' early challenge. Now the goal differential is 6-4. eekso really starting to flex, come back in the series. Flakes looks to be a bit panicky. When he was down early in game 1, there was no panic. He was just playing the comeback slowly. But since eekso took control of 2 games in a row now towards the end of the match, I think that's giving Flakes a harder time keeping his decision making in check. He's throwing himself into a lot more challenges than we're used to seeing him do. And there's a backflip flick from eekso. Let's get across the line and add another trick shot to his book. Flakes just had no idea what eekso had planned. Look at the power that eekso's able to generate. That's ridiculous that he can set this up so quickly and then pull the shot off without any time at all for Flakes to react. So backflip propels him forwards. 40 seconds left in the game. Flakes needs a goal right now, but these touches are not really helping him do that. Looks like he's got a chance, but eekso gets a piece of it. That's all he needed. 30 seconds left now. eekso's very much in control of his own destiny. Just running the ball around the field. We knew this was likely to happen if eekso ever got control with a 2 or 3 goal lead in the final minute of a match. You better wave goodbye to all of your chances. It's another save on a flip reset shot. eekso not letting Flakes have any of the stylish goals. Let's keep all of those to himself. You know, Flakes did at least hit those flip reset shots on targets. That's something. And he gives Flakes 1 goal right before we head into the final game of the series. Game 5, the ace match between eekso and Flakes. eekso on a rampage right now. Went to lock in a 3rd series win in a row versus Flakes. He's currently number 1 in the world in 1v1. You know, the biggest difference I'm seeing in those games, the ones that eekso lost and the 2 that he's just won, is the defense. Looking very, very good defensively. Spectacular goalkeeping especially. Keeping Flakes back and out of the game for large portions of it that I'm sure Flakes would be expecting to score against other opponents. eekso's going to back him up with a flick right now just so he can steal the boost in the corner while Flakes is making the save. Great trip there by eekso. Didn't get too much of Flakes' positioning screwed up though, and Flakes is right back into shadowing. It's almost a rinse and repeat of the last time that eekso flicked from this position, only this time Flakes' recovery was not quite so good. eekso crossbars it to himself, wide open net, puts it in. Flakes down a goal already in game 5. The key here for eekso is that he's shot this ball low enough that Flakes tried to go for it. If he shoots that really high, Flakes is not going to go up, he's not going to jump, he's going to stay on the ground and then just contest the rebound, which will no doubt prevent eekso from going for it. But he's popping it just high enough that Flakes can't reach it, but low enough that he thinks that he can. eekso gets a goal. Oh, you can see the frustration there for eekso though as Flakes equalizes. eekso coming way off his goal line, he's in no man's land, and Flakes with multiple touches the air dribble makes it 1-1. Good stuff in the air by Flakes. What a match we're seeing here. Perfect way to decide who's going to play against Fairy Peak. It's a goal each. Flakes tries to sneak in the demo. eekso sees him coming. Flakes gets it past him anyway, and that is on target. 2-1 Flakes. That just shows the power of the demo threat. Even though Flakes didn't get the demolish on eekso, he did get eekso to jump away from the ball, and that netted a possession play for Flakes, one which he has utilized to maximum potential. Might get another goal here. Yes, he will. Great power on the shot by Flakes. eekso dodging into the middle of nowhere and immediately regretting the decision. He thought that Flakes was also going to jump towards the boost. That's why eekso's tried to dodge into him, send him away from it. His plan, of course, after that would be to take the boost and take the ball and try to dribble Flakes at the other end. But Flakes is one step ahead. He stood solid on the ground. And another kickoff play makes it 4-1. Just like that, a huge momentum swing. And Flakes looks like the favourite by a significant margin. Still a lot of time for eekso to work with, though. These Flakes are not powerful enough to cause too much trouble to Flakes. eekso almost accelerating up to supersonic there. I think the wall slowed him down just a little bit as he had to turn up it. Another air dribble for Flakes. He's got a lot of a gap there to his left, though, for eekso to knock the ball past. eekso's showing a lot of respect to Flakes' defense there. Tried to save his boost so he can get back and save the counter, but he cannot because Flakes is too fast. And he did nail that save. Counter with enough speed to put it into the open net. Didn't need to dodge there, just a single jump to place the shot. 4-goal difference now as Flakes scores his 5th goal in a row. This is much like game 1, where eekso got an early lead and then it was all Flakes, and it might still be all Flakes. Gets another successful challenge. eekso's just got to try and calm down a little bit here, wait for a good opportunity, because the worst thing he can do at this point is concede another goal. He can't afford to do that. He has to wait for his chances. He's got his dodge here. Spirals into position. Wave dash dribble. And eekso puts it in just like Flakes did earlier in the series. Great recovery mechanics by eekso. Uses the wave dash and the landing to accelerate the ball into a 50-50. And the dodge powers it on through. 2 goals for eekso. 5 for Flakes. That's about the best type of goal you can score when you want to be starting to come back. That's going to feel pretty good. Half flip set up by eekso. Flakes does not jump early. There is a pre-jump as soon as eekso did pop the ball, though, from Flakes. Looks like he's managed to neutralize eekso's offense here, but hang on a second. eekso with the bump. Oh, his dodge timed out. He couldn't dodge into the ball after that single jump approach. And now eekso a little bit ahead of the ball. He's got to wait for it to go past him, and he's just jumping, popping it repeatedly to try and keep Flakes back until the ball's actually in a strikeable position. Luckily for eekso, Flakes didn't have a lot of boost to play with either, so he didn't have much that he could do. Good half flipping by eekso to take control yet again. He needs a goal pretty soon, and these are good chances that he should not be wasting. He's scored himself, and the ball is going to be in the blue net. eekso concedes a 6th, and this just looks like a complete lack of confidence in his flick. It has let him down a few times today. There hasn't been the same rip on it, the same power that we're used to seeing from some of eekso's flicks in the past. And that's a worrying sign when eekso is not confident in his flick. He's not confident in himself. That play really did not look too dangerous at all. Flakes shuts down another dribble before the halfway line is crossed. Decides to fake this aerial. The shot wasn't really too open. eekso's got it past him now with a pop, and Flakes is out of the game. There's eekso's 3rd goal. I wish that he hadn't let Flakes score that easy counter-attack before getting this one. So still a 3-goal difference. 1 minute and 11 second time frame for eekso to try and work with here. Just trying to keep his hopes alive of making that qualification to the LAR games. Just over a minute left. eekso does take control after the kickoff. That's not the best takeoff from the dribble. Tries to flick it over Flakes, who's jumped again early at the near post, but Flakes gets in the way of it. And now he's just going to waste some time in the clock by knocking it towards eekso's goal. Control by eekso, but he's got Flakes right behind him, accelerating him into another aggressive play. It's a good 50-50 actually by eekso, but the ball's rolling on target way too slow. Flakes realizes that, pounces on it, and puts in a 7th goal. And although eekso's plan here might have made sense if he was able to connect with that bump, a whiff on it sentences him to a 4-goal deficit. Where does eekso go from here? Flakes could just fake this kickoff and let the ball go into midfield play. He's just going to go for a regular kickoff though. I think that might have been a mistake. He's given eekso a great play. This is such a strong possession, but eekso's not dodged again, and it's going to be a goal for Flakes, surely, as he turtles the setup, pops in the shot, 8-3. Flakes all but confirming his Lore Games appearance, a sweep of the group. Although 2 of the series were close, he has looked like the best player of the bunch. The most consistent player, certainly, and a worthy contender for the Lore Games title. All that's left is for him to run down the clock, confirm the victory. eekso plays for pride, plays for maybe one more stylish goal to write home about. He has had a couple of bangers today, but at the end of the day, Flakes prevents sort of our sweep, and he's going to put in a 9th goal for good measure. Crushing win, much like the game 1 that we saw here. eekso just wasn't able to steady the ship in time, didn't have a good enough shot selection to make the comeback possible. With a second left in the game, Flakes puts in another goal. Just so we have to watch one more kickoff. Congratulations to Flakes, a huge win. He'll be making his 2nd Lore Games appearance against Fairy Peak very soon. GG's, says eekso. Well played. And we'll see Flakes in the Lore Games.
Thank you, Johnny. Yes, we will see Flakes in the Lore Games. He took all 3 matches here in the 4, maybe that will give him the momentum to beat Fairy. We will see eekso again too, in the next run of the 4. Thanks once again to ZDAX for sponsoring this tournament. Be sure to check them out to get your own truly customizable PC with a lifetime service warranty. Get a 5% discount with the offer code JOHNNYBOY. Thank you all for watching today. I am your host, Brian. Come back tomorrow to see the final series.